Hi, I'm here with another one of the wonderful authors from the new collaboration book, We Are All Made of Love, which is releasing February 2nd, 2022. It's a vulnerable, heartfelt collection that'll help restore your faith in humanity and remind you of the true reason that we're all here, transcending all odds through love, connected as one with each other, made of love. And I'm going to read you Amanda's bio for a moment. Amanda Reed is a health and natural healing lifestyle blogger. She likes to do yoga, eat healthy, and all the things, but sometimes just wants a good burger. Amanda also works with refugees and teaches business English. She has lived in Vienna, Austria with her husband for the last decade, but originally hails from Newmarket, Massachusetts in the US. In normal times, she visits home at least once a year and stays connected to her friends and family there. She has a strong love for travel to exotic places, or actually anywhere, and anything to do with the moon. She has a strong aversion to learning German more fluently. Welcome, Amanda. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
So you have a few pieces throughout the book, as well as some lovely photos that you gave for me to include. So let's talk about a couple of those things now. So one of your pieces is Love is Blind, and it's in the Love Beyond Sight chapter in the book. Did you want to tell us a little bit more about that piece and how you came about writing it and why you wanted it for the book?
Sure. I just thought it would be a good addition to the book because I guess this woman just taught me so much. Like, it was just one of those people that you meet that you just never expected. Like, sometimes you meet people in life that you just never expected to, and you learn a lot from them. And I don't know, I just, in a way, she just sort of embodies love in a way that you just, again, would never expect. And so she just blew me away in the things that I learned from her. And I don't know, she just came to mind right away when you told me the title of the book. So I just wanted to include some of her, what she has taught me. So.
Well, and it's a really interesting piece, and it's laid out so nicely that it feels like the reader can be there with you, meeting this woman and experiencing what she sees without seeing. And so it's really amazing. Thank you for including that one. And you also have Travel in Your Own Backyard, which is also in the Love Beyond Sight chapter. Did you want to share a little bit more about that one?
Sure. Well, you actually asked me to add that one in, so I was happy to do so. And as you said, it ended up. I didn't really see how it would fit into the book, to be honest, and it ended up fitting in perfectly, as you said, and where it is. I won't give it away, but it. I think where it's located, at the story before it is appropriate. And it was just a blog post that I had done, and you went on my blog and saw it and asked me to include it. And I think again, I didn't really think it would be appropriate, but then it is. So I'm happy about that.
Well, and it's
And
funny.
also in these times of COVID, like, we can't go anywhere, or
Yeah.
we can, but it's, it depends. It depends. So
Well, and it's
I don't have a lot to
interesting
say
because
about them.
I ended up stalking a number of the authors and their online worlds and whatever, and saying, "Oh, can I have this for the book? Can I have this one?" And then in the writing workshops that we had too, people would share their piece, and I'm like, "That's a perfect one for the book," and they're like, "Really?"
Yeah, like,
So,
I had never worked with you before, and I had never done like a collaboration, and so I really kind of only had your idea of what the book was going to be, and so I was like, sure, you can have it, but if you think it fits, sure.
well,
So I'm
and
glad it did.
the interesting thing too is that when I first put this book, like put the invitations for this book out and whatever, and I had this vision in my head since the last collaboration book, it was
Mhm.
percolating and whatever, and then I put it out in October, and the pieces that I got back were so different than my original vision as well. And so like the book just kind of took on a life of its own, and it's just had this magical special quality that I'm really grateful for. And I'm grateful that we were able to connect and that you could be part of the book, because you've helped with the book so much. But
Absolutely.
we'll chat about that a bit after too. But did you want to say to tell us a little bit more about your Here's to 2021 piece that originally was Here's to 2020?
Yeah. Well, it was originally Here's to 2021 because I wrote it last year, right before, I think right before New Year's. And actually rereading that now, I think you brought this to my attention. It's so appropriate for now too, unfortunately, because the world hasn't changed that much. The world has changed enormously, but in the last year, it continues to be challenging, very to say the least. And so it kind of, I don't know, is appropriate for this year as well. And we're eventually going to get out of all of this, but I think we just have to. I started actually in my blog. I started a series called Silver Linings, Corona Silver Linings, and I had to stop doing it because I couldn't find the silver linings anymore, and so it just got really hard. Like last winter was really hard for a lot of people with all the lockdowns, and being in a city in a small apartment during a lockdown is tough. So there were moments that you really had to like dig deep and just to get through it all. And at that, I think I was feeling optimistic that, a new year is coming, whatever, and I was feeling optimism. And so that's where that piece came from. And soon after that,
Well,
I started writing. I stopped writing for a while because it's hard. I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't find any silver linings anymore. But now I feel like I could find them again. So.
well, and that's sort of what's sprinkled throughout this book as well is, it's the silver linings that people are finding in healing and love and connection and all of
Yeah,
this. And that's why I feel like this book is needed, more than ever right now, as cliche as that phrase is and
it's so
whatever.
timely.
I hate
So
that phrase, but like, it's true in this case too, that
sometimes it's appropriate, yeah, and it really is with this book, and it couldn't come out at a better time, I think, because people are so desperate for stories of connection and for stories of love, and for, some people might think it's corny or whatever, to have a book about love, but it's people really need that right now, and it's people are desperate for connection, so
when
it's very
there seems to be a lot of people really excited about the book, not just the authors, but like people that sort of in the outer realm of the authors and whatever as well. So it should be something that really helps a lot of people. So I'm looking forward to it being published in the world. And so that piece, as well as your piece called Proof, are in the spiritually connected chapter, which is all that chapter is all about seeing the signs beyond things and being able to be connected to the bigger energies of things. It might tread on what's called the woo woo or whatever, but I mean
I'm all
it's
about
something that
the
it's something that's super important and that so many of the authors are so connected to as well. And it's I love when you pitched me about the piece Proof and like the whole idea behind it, because I don't know if did we end up leaving the line in there of you can't make this stuff up, because that
yeah.
basically is like that sums up that whole chapter too, is you can't make this stuff up, right? And like and
And
it just
that's your proof, because like you couldn't write it, it's what do they say, uh what is the thing, life is stranger than fiction, or
yeah, reality
reality
is
is stranger
stranger.
than, you can't make stuff up, you really can't, so
Well,
yeah.
and it's super special because there are pieces about synchronicities and things like that that just they just happen so much, and when you're open to them, then they can give you that comfort and reassurance when you're in so much uncertainty like we are now. Is you can get those little signs that say like, hey, you're on the right track, things are going to be okay, it's going to be okay. Maybe you don't know how, but some way somehow it's going to be okay. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and that's the key. What you said the key is being open to them. And that was at the beginning of when I was getting all kinds of signs and stuff. And I was open to them, but I wanted the proof, I wanted to know, is this real? And now I have a million other stories I could tell about the proof. So that was kind of the beginning of my journey of getting the signs, but
it,
we all
it
should be open to them. So
well I'm sure that through with talking with all the authors and everything, we could probably just write our next book all about signs and things like
Not
is
a bad
because
idea.
everybody's super connected to it. And and it's, I hope that people can read that chapter, especially, it's the last chapter in the book, and read that chapter especially, and be able to see that if you can open yourself even just a little bit, like, you'll end up seeing like African animals as you're driving. And then, when you're talking about, should we go to Africa? And, and then you end up seeing, well, okay, how do we know it's the proof? And then you see proof right there. And it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing
It
how
was
that all
wild.
transpired. So yeah,
My husband is always like, he's always like, he would never believe this stuff, like, but he witnesses what I witnessed, and so he sees, he's like, wow, you have some connection there.
it's, there's just some things you can't deny, right?
Yeah.
And so, and you have a lot of really wonderful pictures sprinkled throughout the book, that you had given me to be able to find homes for. And that ties in with, I told you that I was going to gush a little bit. You've helped so much with the book, and I'm so grateful for all of your help throughout it. For people watching, Amanda helped me to narrow down some of the cover choices before it submitted it to the authors for a vote and whatever, so the authors didn't have to vote on 30 choices, because I went a little bit overboard. And and we were able to narrow it down a little bit. Amanda helped with a bunch of the editing for the book, and she shared these pictures that I could include throughout the book in order to just have some more visual connections and things. And she's been one of my top encouragers throughout the book as well, when I've been going through some speed bumps and detours and things throughout the publishing of the book. Amanda has helped to encourage me to keep going with it, and to keep smiling, and find the signs, and find the proof, and everything like that. And I'm so grateful that we were able to be connected. We had a connection that we've been connected for a few years, and then through this book we actually got to know each other more, and like really connect. And so that has been a wonderful journey, and it just shows that everything
Absolutely.
is meant to happen when it's meant to happen, right? So did
Yes,
you
for
want to
sure.
make any comments about your pictures or about your involvement with the book?
Oh, no, it's just been a joy to connect with you, and on a deeper level, more than we had in the past. And I was happy to help in any way. And I was surprised you used some of my pictures, so I'm happy that you used them. There was no pressure, but I was happy that you used them. So
Well, and
great.
they add a very lovely effect to the book, so I appreciate having that opportunity to include them too, so thank you. And did you want to share a little bit about who you are? And I know I read your bio at the beginning, but if you wanted to share a little bit more about who you are and what you do, and how people can contact you if they want to have, like, pre-order a book from you, or if your piece really resonates and they want to share something more further with you about it, who are you, and how would they contact you?
Who are you? That's a very deep question. I can't get into that here. Um, well, as I said in my bio, my blog is not really like a niche blog. I don't have tons of followers because I'm not a niche blog, and I'm fine with that, because I want to keep open the option of writing about whatever I want to write about. It's not about getting followers or whatever. So I
It
just
is
do
a
it for
very good blog, though. Just, I enjoy
fun.
it.
Well, it needs work, definitely, but I just do it for fun, and for a hobby. And I'm going to pick it up. This process inspired me to write more, so thank you for that. And so I will be picking that back up. How you can contact me, I'm on Instagram at Amanda_Reed_, and I'm on Facebook. I have a page for my blog, but it actually, I think it was corrupted. So I think it's still working okay, but I might have to do some tweaks to it. Or my
Technology,
email.
right?
What's that?
Technology, right? That's
I know. I'm not the best at it.
neither am I.
Um, and my email address is alreed40@gmail.com. That's if
And
you want
that'll
to
also be in the description as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And did you want to share your key takeaway that you want people to remember, a little phrase, or the word that I'm looking for, a mantra
Yeah.
that you want people to remember, either about you or your pieces, or a little message you want people to connect with?
I think in this process, of submitting these pieces and everything, I think it just reminded me that especially in these times, these hard times, that we have to just remember to keep finding the joy. So I was saying it to myself, like, find the joy, because we don't know how long this is gonna last, all of this hell that we've been through the last couple of years. And it's so important to just continue, just even every day in the littlest ways, just to keep finding the joy. And that kind of has been getting me through all of this. And um, I think connection is important, but just really finding joy in any small way. That's my mantra.
That's amazing. I love that, because it is so important. It's so important. And,
Yeah.
some of the pieces in this book too, they're fun and whimsical, and, it's they range from the fun and whimsical to some more serious and healing and process and transformation. And, there is quite a wide range of pieces in the book, something for everyone. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
again, it's We Are All Made of Love, and it's releasing February 2nd, 2022. And we would absolutely love if you would be able to connect with us on launch day. Amanda is going to be providing a meditation in the launch day bonus package that you'll be able to download. When you order on launch day, you'll be able to put your information in to get this thank you package from the authors that's really coming together amazing. I'm really blown away by the generosity and the gifts from the authors, that we want to share to thank you for purchasing our book on launch day. So thank you for checking it out on launch day, which is coming up soon, because I know this interview is scheduled towards the end. And so thank you, Amanda, for joining me here today and for sharing and letting us get to know you and your pieces a little bit more.
Thank you so much.